If uh, we had affordable health care and an ambulance ride wasn't like 3, 5, $6,000, people wouldn't have to speed to the hospital whenever they think that they may be having some emergency issue.
Tonight, new video emerging of a high-speed chase on an Arkansas highway.
Black Mazda, blacked out SUV.
Arkansas State Police using a pit maneuver to stop this car carrying Tahira Hart and her twin daughters.
You what?
Police unaware they were in the middle of a medical emergency. Hart started experiencing chest pains hours after being discharged from Baptist Medical Health Center in Little Rock following a surgery earlier that week.
I got a shooting pain in my left arm and my hand went numb. So at this time, I'm thinking I'm having a heart attack.
Her 18-year-old daughter's
I mean, if she was having a heart attack and she like died there because the cops did the pit maneuver and stopped them, that would have been horrible to watch him die.
Racing her to the hospital with their hazard lights on. Little Rock police pursuing that car for 5 miles before the state police took over.
They turned their lights on, but they turned them right back off. And they were following us.
Officials say the car topped 100 miles an hour during that chase and even sped up after police turned on their blue flashing lights.
We was actually just finna stop and let the police take us on to the emergency room, but then we got hit.
A state police trooper executing that pit maneuver, driving his cruiser into the side of their vehicle, spinning it around and stopping the chase.
We got a pit. We got a pit.
From what I saw in this video, it looks like it was appropriate. It's a good spot to try this because if the car veers off, there wasn't anyone there or anything there that could be harmed.
The women inside.
They themselves could have been harmed, though. I mean, a pit maneuver doesn't always work out the way, the cop wants it to.
Terrified, screaming with their hands raised. The driver, Kenoshia Moss, says the police pointed guns and flashlights at them.
I'm like, please just don't kill me. Please just don't kill me. But I've got my hands up, I got my eyes closed, and I'm just walking towards them. I thought that I was going to get shot.
Moss, placed in handcuffs at the scene, written a ticket for fleeing police.
I'm sorry.
She wasn't fleeing police. She was trying to get to the hospital over an emergency. Again, if it wasn't for how unaffordable healthcare is, these people wouldn't have to have sped down the highway in order to get to the hospital because they would have been able to afford an ambulance.
She says they then let her go and followed her as she finished that trip to the hospital. In a statement, Arkansas State Police say a troop supervisor reviewed the incident and approved the use of the pit maneuver, writing, quote, any medical emergency that would warrant high rates of speed necessitates calling an ambulance or dialing 911.
Right, but not everybody can afford such a medical bill because an ambulance ride is rather expensive. These people are so out of touch with reality. But hey, when you're getting paid by the city and the government, why do you care about what other people can afford?
Driving to the emergency room does not give someone a free pass to speed, violate laws, and endanger the public.
We didn't.
So, what if somebody's having an emergency and they can't afford the ambulance? What, they should just die?
Think to call 911 or nothing like that. By the time the ambulance would have got here, we would have already been at the hospital.
The law is always going to apply. You don't have the ability to break the law, even if it's a traffic law, because you think that it's warranted, whether someone feels ill or they're asking you to take them to the hospital or not.
Kenoshia pleaded not.
Yeah, it's rather reasonable to want to speed to the hospital if you think your family member is dying. What, do they just expect people just to, lay there and die?
Not guilty to these charges. She is due back in court, though, on September 6th.